Hey guys, so what do you think? Just got back from the beauty parlor. I know. Many more visits required. I get it. Anyway, I used to get a haircut. For years I'd go and get a haircut. And then one day it just dawned on me to get them all cut. So I do that now and it saves so much time. Anyway, for some of us, self-control, not always an easy thing, but controlling a Sprite in your projects, much simpler. So when we create games in Scratch, we need to give the users the ability to control a sprite. And typically that's done with the keyboard. In this video, we're going to explore two ways in which we can give the users the ability to control a sprite. The first way is something like you see in Minecraft, in which the sprite would actually turn and face the direction that it's going to move. So it will turn left when you press the left arrow and move left. The second way is using XY coordinates to go up, down, left, and right. And in this way, the sprites will generally face the same way, but still move up with the up arrow, down with the down arrow, and so on. All right, my fellow Scratchers, let's get programming. What do you say? As I just mentioned, in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to move our sprites using the keyboard in two different ways. So as always, the first thing I'm going to do is name my program, and I'm just going to call it Moving Sprites. We're going to explore two ways, so we need two sprites. Now for this sprite, we want a sprite that we're looking at from above, what we call bird's eye view. And there's a few we can choose from. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the library by clicking on Pico over here. Click on that little icon. Then I'm going to click on Animals. And you can see there's the cat, there's the mouse over here, the ladybug. Any one of these will do. So I'm going to click on the ladybug, double click, 1, 2. Okay, and we're going to work on this sprite first. I know I'm working on the ladybug because I have this blue border around it. To make the ladybug move, I'm going to create one script that starts when the flag is clicked and runs the whole length of the program. So what that means is I need, from the events, a flag click, and from control, a forever loop. So when it comes to moving the ladybug, there are 4 events that we need to be concerned with, and that is the 4 arrow keys. And if those arrow keys are pressed, we want the ladybug to do something, and we call that a conditional statement. And since there are 4 conditional statements we're concerned with, we need 4 if statements. So from control, I'm going to grab my 4 if statements. Now these 4 statements need to be stacked one on top of the other. And then we're going to take our stack of if statements and stick them in our forever loop. So what are the 4 events we're concerned with? 4 key presses, the 4 arrow keys. And we get the key press block from sensing. About halfway down, we see key, space, press, but of course from the drop down, we can pick any one of the keys on the keyboard. So we need to put one of these blocks in all 4 of our if statements. But of course, we don't care at this moment about space, we care about the 4 arrow keys. So from the drop down, we're going to pick up, then we're going to pick down, then we're going to pick right, and then we're going to pick left. Now when the arrow keys are pressed, the first thing we're going to want to do is get our sprite to point in the appropriate direction. And to get our sprites to point is a movement, so we go to motion. And you can see the 4th block says point in direction. Now 90 is the angle in which it's pointing, but if you look at the drop down, it actually has the direction, the word direction. And we just need to match the direction with the arrow. So if I take my point direction and stick 1 in each one of the if statements, then from the drop down, all I need to do is make the direction match the key. So for here I have the up key, so I need to make it point up. Here I have the down key, so I want to make it point down. Here I have the right key, I'm going to point right, and of course left will point left. Now once we have our sprite pointing in the right direction, it needs to move forward. Now how many steps we make it move forward will determine the speed. For now we'll just use 10. So I want to take a move 10 steps and stick it in each one of the if statements. And now we have a script that will allow our ladybug to move, but of course we need to test it. So I hit the flag, up arrow, down arrow, left arrow, right arrow. All right, that works. Now that's a perfect method to use for this ladybug as we look down upon it. It might not always be the best way to make your sprite move. So let's look at another way. Let's click on the cat. I know I'm on the cat because I got the blue border around it. I have no scripts because I have not yet created any. And so to move this cat, we're going to look at the XY position. You might recall from previous videos that the game board is an XY coordinate grid. The center is 0, 0. To move left and right, we change our X values. To move up and down, we change our Y values. Lowering the X value will move us to the left. Raising the X value will move us to the right. Increasing the Y value will move us up, and decreasing Y will move us down. And that's how we're going to move the cat sprite. Again, we're going to create the same sort of structure. It's going to be one script, start with a flag click, and go forever. So in events, I grab flag click. Under control, I grab forever. Once again, we're concerned with the 4 arrow keys, so I'm going to grab 4 if statements. I'm going to put my stack of if statements inside my forever loop. I'm going to go to sensing. I'm going to grab my key press blocks. Once again, we don't care about space. We care about up, down, right, and left. Now to move the cat, we're going to change its X and Y position. So we do that under motion. So the number we change by would determine the speed. We'll just use 10 for now. So up and down is Y. So we're going to change Y for up and change Y for down. To go up, we increase, so that's good. To go down, we need to decrease, so I do -10. And left and right, we change X. To move right, we increase, so that's good. And to move left, we need to decrease X. And now if I click the flag, both my sprites should move in the direction I press my keys. Click the flag, up, down, right, left, up. All right, guys, we got 2 sprites and they move in unison. It's kind of like synchronized swimming without the people or the pool or the water. It's synchronized nonetheless. All right, guys, remember, like what you like, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.